now to talk about the mental and physical damages of video games. Many video games result in negative psychological and physical effects on young children, and especially those under the age of 18. According to Peggy J. Parks, the author of Video Games, the biggest risk is to young people because they are impressionable, easily frightened, and have difficulty distinguishing reality from fantasy. In this speech, I shall use cited evidence that will justify the proposal, be it resolved that Congress federalize the ESRB in regards to age restrictions on video games. This change is necessary because it will protect America's children and teens from developing psychological issues and physical damage. Perhaps some of you in this room have brothers or sisters who are in elementary school. Can you imagine them coming downstairs to find you playing Grand Theft Auto? For those who have seen it, you know how extremely violent it is. According to a study conducted by Iowa State University Psychological Department, violent video games increase aggressive thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, desensitize players to violence, and decrease empathy and helping. But playing non-violent video games can cause problems as well. When an individual's brain is habituated with the flashing light of screens, people tend to become easily distracted and acquire attention problems. Their studies show that these attention issues distance students from achieving their academic goals. According to Andrea Norcia, a college student writer for the Palo Alto Medical Foundation, states in her article on education.com that these effects on aggressive behavior can be long-term. As stated by the African proverb, "It takes a village to raise a child," is a common and evocative means of arguing for the necessity of community involvement of child rearing. The studies done by Susan Lin, an instructor of psychiatry at Harvard Medical School, suggests that early screen use can be habituating and is negatively associated with cognitive development. Regular sleep patterns and language acquisition. So she also states that the more babies and toddlers engage with screens, the less time they spend in creative play and interacting with parents, two activities known to be educational. It's absurd to allow children as young as 1 to 3 years of age to be exposed to a technology that may affect the person negatively in the future. As stated in a study done by the authors Gentile, Lynch, Linder, and Walsh, that the amount of screen usage varies between genders of people in the adolescent stage. According to the study the authors conducted in 2004, adolescent girls play video games for an average of 5 hours a week, whereas boys average 13 hours a week. Let's start at the parental perspective. Even though the children's products and food market is gigantic, parents, on the one hand, have a hard time raising children the way they want to. While on the other hand, kids are being increasingly influenced by commercialism that often goes against what parents are trying to do. It has been proven throughout history that advertising that targets children has been the most effective tactic of the business world due to the not yet developmental sense of reality. Even though it may be difficult, parents must play a large and tedious role in order to protect their children from these negative effects by using limits on video game access and by reading the ratings on the game cases. Douglas H. and Teal argued in his article in Pediatrics for Parents that parents should recognize that video games can have powerful effects on children and should therefore set limits on the amount and content of games their children play. In this way, we can realize the potential benefits while minimizing the potential harm. Take a moment to put yourselves in your parents' shoes. Though, if the age restriction policies became backed by federal law, imagine how much easier it would make the lives of parents who work their tail ends off to help and care for their children and teens. Many children and teens have been sent to see doctors because of back pain and other physical problems. According to videogameaddiction.org, whether they play on an Xbox or online, they enter worlds filled with witches, elves, dragons, and more. By traveling to mysterious and sometimes secret locations, they spend so much time in this other world, they begin to do physical damage to their bodies. The most common physical consequence from excessive video game use are migraines. Screens attract the attention of children and teens, who causes individuals' brain to focus on one thing so intensely that can cause irregularities with eating. Eating irregularities are caused by gaming addiction because most addicted gamers do not want to take time to eat properly. Thank you.